Welcome back to the build. Last video we primed all the walls. This video we're going to actually put paint on the walls. Got a pressure sprayer kit for the Airless sprayer that we used in the primer video. We're going to test this out, see if it really does let you roll walls 4 times faster. Jamie's going to help. We're going to start cutting in the upstairs bedrooms and then start rolling. The paint color we picked is called Aesthetic White. Probably can't see it too well from there. It's just a very light, it's an aesthetic white. It's kind of a plastery sort of look that will hopefully go with a dark wood, walnut-ish colored trim, which should match our island, doors, trim, all those things. You'll see all that as it comes together. Let's get to work. Okay, day 2. Spent a considerable amount of time yesterday cutting in ceilings and cutting in corners. I don't think I actually have to cut in the corners because we're using such a thick roller, like a 3/4 inch nap roller. We got 1 bedroom done. Really like the color, really like how it's looking. So now I'm just staging up some, like ladders and walkboards and everything, because I'm about to break out this pressure roller kit, get this all hooked up, see how she works. And if it goes well, I want to be able to just keep going. So we're going to start in this room, go to this room, come out here, throw up the walkboard between these ladders, try and get all of this, see how much paint we have left. Probably have to switch buckets, then get down there and go around that way. It's a little bit of like staging and figuring it out, but hoping to at least get the upstairs finished today. And we'll go from there. Pressure roller kit connects directly to your spray gun, converts your spray gun into a pressure roller. Okay, now it comes with the roller cover that has the holes on the inside, which you have to have, otherwise paint can't get into the roller cover. So you can't use a regular roller cover like you would on a manual one. You got to get the ones with the holes that are all on the inside. Don't need the spray tip. I'll take off. Try and take this off. Now I don't know if you're supposed to use the sprayer extension, which is a thinner, a smaller tube, with the roller extension. But we're going to try. If it doesn't work, then we'll know, I guess. So they have the exact same inner diameter hole. I guess this is just holds more paint. But we're going to try it this way. So definitely we'll use the 45-degree elbow now that we're dealing with a, what was that, about a 40-inch wand. That's got a pretty good reach. Now, hopefully we can get paint through it. Paint, stand, power. All right, let's see if we can make a mess. Look at that. Finally. All right, here we go. Is it really 4 times faster than a regular roller? Yes, absolutely, at least 4 times faster. Did that in about 45 minutes, and it took a longer time because this closet has a lot of angles and it's very tedious. First bedroom Jamie did with a regular roller, and it took her probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It's definitely faster, it's just tedious. And unfortunately, you still do have to cut in all your corners, all your ceilings, because the roller just can't get into there. So there's still that amount of labor, but for the most part, it's definitely worth it. And even with all of this texture, which some of it's pretty aggressive, the roller gets in there as long as you use the right size nap. I think we have a 1/2 inch or maybe a 3/4 inch. That's a 1/2 inch, I got 3/4 inch as well. But it gets the paint in there, and it really isn't using a lot of paint, which is another question people have, is why are you rolling the walls when you sprayed the ceilings? Sprayed the ceilings with primer, which cost about $44 for 5 gallons. This paint costs about $48 for 1 gallon, and that was on sale 25% off plus a $10 off coupon, so this paint's very expensive. This is Sherwin-Williams Signature, what is it? Super Paint. Sherwin-Williams Super Paint in aesthetic white. So yeah, that's why I'm rolling it. It doesn't waste any. All right, this bedroom's done, and I'm going to move on to the bathroom. Okay, second floor is finished. Took about 3 hours with that pressure roller. Not bad for a Sunday afternoon. I'm really liking that thing, but now I gotta go clean it up because I'm done for the day, and I'll pick it up again tomorrow and start doing all those really high, weird, hinky spots, which brings me to some comments on the previous videos about not having a railing here in the loft. The reason I don't have a railing here is because I'm constantly setting up and taking down scaffolding, and I use this as a platform to do that, to get the really high parts set up, and a railing right now would just be in my way, so I'm just careful. Really liking this color. It looks awesome in person, especially with the texture, so just going to keep at it and see what we can get done tomorrow. So even though I happen to be pretty good at painting, it's not very much fun. It's just tedious and boring, especially this part where I'm cutting in all of the ceilings and the walls in the corners, because you can't get a roller all the way to the corner, and you certainly don't want to put a roller all the way up and get paint on the ceiling. Also, if you're wondering why all that weird strobe light effect is happening, it's because that LED work light has a strange pulse frequency thing that screws with the camera. So it looks like you're in a disco when I got this light on and I'm time-lapsing. So I'm using a 1.5 inch angled brush. I don't know if you call this a sash brush or what. Put a little bit of paint on there and just cut in right to that line and sort of back drag a little bit. It's tedious. And if you're wondering why most all of this is time-lapse, it's because I'm jamming out to like old school rock and roll, CCR, oh, I don't know, just everything, all those cool old 80s when they used to actually make music. So I can't put that on here obviously because we'll get copyright claimed and make the YouTube algorithm mad. But that's the only way to stay sane when you're doing something so boring is jam out. Okay, so I just did this last room the old-fashioned way with a hand roller, just to see the difference between doing it that way and using the pressure roller. And it did take a little longer. I'd say the pressure roller takes about 20 minutes to do this room. This took me about an hour, but I only had to do this room, so I didn't want to set up the pressure roller and then have to clean it, because that takes about 30 to 40 minutes to clean up. Old-fashioned way still works. So this is day 4 of painting. I think the only thing we have to do is the basement now. So I'm going to go down and help Jamie finish that up, and hopefully we'll be done today. Okay, this thing is awesome. It definitely saves you time as long as you're doing a lot of painting. Like, if you're going through at least 1 5-gallon bucket in a session, then it's probably worth setting up. The more 5-gallon buckets you do in the session, the more worth it is, because like I said, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to clean this up really good. Make sure you don't have paint gunked up in it. But once you do get up and running, it's a rock and roller. So we got all the paint done, first coat on the whole house, with the exception of the little spot right here behind the scaffolding, because the scaffolding's in the way, but that's easy. The final coat and finish coat will be the second to last thing we do. right before we put the floors in, which will be hopefully the last thing we do. So yeah, painting is finished, and I'm real happy with how it turned out. The texture looks great with this color, and I think that the trim color we picked and the doors and all that will go really well with it. And that's probably what I'm going to do next. I just got a call from our distributor that our interior doors are ready. We're going to do 3-panel wood shaker doors, shaker style. And so I'm going to go try and get those picked up here in the next day or so, see what we got, get them inside here, and maybe let them acclimate for a week or so before we start figuring out the stain and what we're going to do for that. And now I have to also figure out getting the ceiling planks. Now that the painting is done, that was my goal, get the painting done so I can get ceiling planks in here, also let that acclimate to the weather, and then we'll just be doing a lot of staining. Ceiling, doors, casing. I got to build jamb extensions for all these windows. A lot left to do, and so while I'm waiting on figuring out what I'm doing with lumber, there's plenty of work to do. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video.